Hi, this is Matthew. Going to talk about another Rolling Stones album. We're in 1978 now for Some Girls. And I will mention a brief compilation that didn't come out over here that I can't find to listen to and check out, but I will give the track listing at least for that one. We came from Black and Blue into 77. And Keith Richards and his wife got into trouble with possessing heroin and some other stuff. I'm not quite sure, but so much that there was some thought he might have to do jail time, and this would be the end of the band. It wasn't, obviously. They were in Canada when this happened. Canada decided not to send him to jail. They decided to give him a... basically, he had to perform for the Canadian National... Canadian Institute of the Blind, the CNIB. He had to do a show there, and he did do that. I guess they'd been in touch with a blind fan of Stones, and they got that arranged. Blind people got in free, and from I guess students from there are still around, but the library is a different name. I don't know much about them, so they don't live there. Regular people, side people, could go in as at the regular price. I don't know how the show went. I just know he did it. He did his obligation, and it was fine. Then they did change labels to EMI Worldwide and I think Atlantic for here. Still under the Rolling Stone Records name. But yeah, it didn't end the band, but I don't know how the show went. I don't even know if there ever was a set list in 77, but I'm not sure. Interesting time. In the interim, that happened. It resolved itself. It's fine. Ronnie Wood joined the band for real, not just a temporary guitarist, as a full member of the band. They pretty much went down to back to basics. Basically, the four of them. That was really about it. Just a couple of other random people. Nobody Preston. Ian Stewart, I guess, is kind of their manager. He didn't even play on it. Just a couple of other guys. Just basically them. They wanted to kind of strip it back a bit. Not be quite so experimental. This is a really good album. I really quite enjoyed it. Not as much subject matter, but I like the overall sound and just what they were doing. Different guitar effects. They did something really interesting. Charlie Watts' drums, they just sound amazing. I don't know if it's some kind of compression or what, but the snare just pops out just about every time you turn around. Really cool sound, but back to basics. Sometimes they almost sound like AC/DC, especially on like when the whip comes down, which is track 2, we'll get to all the names, but it almost sounds like an AC/DC song. Mick did a lot of of course, Mick and Keith did the producing again as the Glimmer Twins. Mick did a lot of the writing. Very influenced by dance music. Disco in particular, this point, soul, Latin music, of course, rock and just punk in general. All that stuff kind of being around. Very much going off the whole New York City thing. Makes references to it a ton in the songs. One about Los Angeles, but I think it was all recorded in France, I believe, at one of EMI's studios there. I think it's where most of it was done. Like maybe one other studio. Yeah, they had like a 16-track rehearsals. They decided to use it as the main studio, but they had 2 24-track places they could also use to record in. So, that was what was going on at this point. Really good album. I say it's number 2 now, still behind Beggar's Banquet, but I still really like the best album to me of the decade. 3 really big hits, 4, I guess, singles total, but I don't. Not sure if I ever heard the third one, or the fourth one. Huge hits. Number 1 here, number 2, I think, in the UK. Said the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack beat it out over there. But not here. He's huge, huge songs, big album. Did really well for them. Best they've done since Exile on Main Street, which is really good. Yeah, much better performance for them and for the labels in question that decide their fate, you know. But we have some really cool stuff on here. We put the Wikipedia article on it. We have the following tracks. We start with side one with the huge "Miss You" track. Yes, that "Miss You," the disco-influenced "Miss You," which I always liked. Even before it was disco. That divided a lot of fans, but I enjoy it. Good sax part on it. We'll see with the sax players in just a little bit. And then we do When the Whip Comes Down, which to me sounds like it's AC/DC, but I don't know. It's not, but they have a little bit harder edge. But definitely a lot of blues going on this album too, and some country. Just lots of stuff musically happening on this, even though it's more back to basics, but you still have a lot of interesting things going on. And then Just My Imagination, Running Away With Me, the Temptation song. By Norman Whitfield and Barrett Strong of the song Money fame. Must have done some writing as well. Really good cover. I really enjoyed this cover. I'd never heard it before. Really good. Then Some Girls, which did get some controversy. He was making fun of different kinds of people, but he was influenced by African Americans and other people, but there was some to do about race and at the time. But I get that was kind of tongue in cheek, but I wasn't in the moment or anything. But that one did cause a little bit of problems. I guess the cover, they put random celebrities on it, and people got mad that they were using their images without asking them. So I think they kind of had to scale that back. I guess George Harrison stayed. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously they were friends with them. Maybe he was okay with it. I don't know for certain. Wikipedia does not say. 5 is called Lies. That ends that side anyway. Up to side 2, we have this really funny thing called Faraway Eyes. It's a country song, but it's Mick Jagger speaking in a southern accent with some choruses and singing, but it is hysterical to me. I think it backed Miss You, if I remember right. If somebody marketed right, it might have worked on a country station, but I'm not sure if anyone would have taken it seriously, but it's really well done. It just sounds like a country song. I don't know. I thought it was kind of hysterical, to be honest. But it was fun anyway. Respectable. Well, that was the other single. That I don't know. I'm not sure. I never heard that until this album. But I enjoyed it. It's good. Before They Make Me Run is next. Beast of Burden, that great track. I love that track a lot. I kept waiting in eager anticipation for it to appear, but now it has. Yay! And then Shattered ends the album. That great track. It was just kind of punk influenced, but interestingly, they did perform that on Saturday Night Live when they first came on there for the first time. I can't remember what their second song was, but this was their lead-off one. It was the big single. I think that was in 79 when they come up on that, I believe. I think it was in the second half of that season. Kind of that. It might have been the fall. Yeah, I think it was in 4. It was in 4. I take that back. I think it was in 4. With that original cast, I think. Been a while since I've heard it, but. Oh, the 8-track version had extended versions of Miss You, A Beast of Burden, edited versions of Shattered and Just My Imagination, apparently. We have some, it has had a few some repackaging and such, but when it got remastered in 2011, they added 12 more tracks of different unused stuff, which is kind of cool. Of course, Mick recorded new vocals again and stuff. I really wish he'd not do that. I would rather have it be in its original form, even if it wasn't completed. I'd rather have it be original and not added on things. But we do have the following: Claudine, and then So Young. Do you think I really care? With a question mark, of course. When You're Gone. Oh, Mick, Keith, and Ronnie Wood wrote that one together. Yeah, he's doing some writing now, so getting into the band a bit. No Spare Parts, which I think that did come out as a single, but they did add some vocals and such to it. Don't Be a Stranger. We Had It All. Tori O'Seas 90 Fritz, that was a cover. I'm not sure who those guys were. I don't recognize those names. Tallahassee Lassie. Bob Croon, Frank Slade, Freddie Cannon. I thought that was I knew that was a cover. I was right. And I Love You Too Much. Keep Up Blues, which is a pretty cool track. Yeah, it's the first time I've heard an electric harmonica on this album. It's on Miss You. I believe it's on this one also. I don't remember where else it's used. It gets used one other place. But it's the first time, at least they've used an electric harmonica. I don't know when those first became available, but there is definitely one guy on here. We'll get to his name in just a second, though. You Win Again, which is a Hank Williams tune. And then Petrol Blues, which is one of theirs, which is a funny name for a song. Gas Blues, apparently. Our personnel is, of course, Mick Jagger on lead vocals and Albert's track 8. Backing vocals and electric guitar. And piano and percussion. Keith Richards, electric guitar, backing vocals, and acoustic guitar. And bass guitar. And lead vocals on track 8, which was, again, I thought that was him. I think there's some backing on that too. That was, again, let me check myself. That was, I knew that was him. Before They Make Me Run, that's right. Before They Make Me Run, that was the one I was looking for. Okay, and back to our people again. Ronnie Wood, electric guitar and backing vocals and pedal steel guitar. And he has an acoustic guitar and bass drum. I started to do some slide guitar too. That became part of their sound from this point onwards. Bill Wyman played bass and synthesizer. Charlie Watts was on drums. A couple additional people we have are Sugar Blue is the guy on the electric harmonica. That just says harmonica here, but it certainly sounds like an electric harmonica to me. Ian McLaken on electric piano and organ. Mick Collins on sax. Sam Kirk on congas. I think he played sax too. Chris Kimsey was the mixing engineer, since they were producing. Ted Jensen was the vinyl mastering. Greg Calby, 1986, was the CD mastering at Sterling Sound at the time. Bill Letwick was the 94 remastering and gateway mastering guy again. Stephen McCuzzin and Whitmore were Stephen McCuzzin and Stuart Wood with 2000 mastering and McCuzzin mastering, I guess. Our bonus disc people from 2011. There was also Super Deluxe with a DVD and like a replica of Miss You, I think, and a big booklet. No additional information. Ian Stewart was on the bonus tracks on Claudine, and he did some bonus track piano there on several tracks. Chuck Leavell, same thing. Don Was on hand claps and other things. John Fogerty was hand clapping on Tallahassee Lassie. He was around. I'm not sure how that worked out, but he must have known somebody. Matt Clifford on bonus tracks on percussion. Sugar Blue on the harmonica on a couple tracks. So that was that one. Yeah, Sugar Blue's pretty good. I've never heard of him. I feel I should, but he could play a mean harmonica. If I don't know, he's probably gone by now. But I do enjoy his playing, so I'm gonna have to go look him up. I didn't know what his name was. Sugar Blue. And move on to the compilation I was talking about called Time Waits for No One. Anthology 1971 to 1971 to 1977. Obviously, we're just going to have our albums up to that point because it wasn't out yet, I don't believe. That was in 79, but it only goes up to 77. We have Time Waits for No One. Oh, it's in the rock and roll, that's right. I can't remember that track being there. Bitch is from Sticky Fingers. Out of the Line is from Exile on Main Street. Dancing with Mr. D, of course, is from Ghost Head Soup. Angie is from Ghost Head Soup, of course. Side 2 was Star Star again from Ghost Head Soup. If You Can't Rock Me, Get Off My Cloud. The Love You Live album, that particular cut is from that. Hand of Fate is next from Black and Blue. Crazy Mama from Black and Blue. Fool to Cry from Black and Blue. Looks like it's covered. And that is the end of the thing in question. That's what it has. Not available here, apparently. I don't know where it would be. Anywhere but here, I guess, in the U.S. But yeah, nothing. There wouldn't be. It would all be in stereo. I wouldn't think there would be any different mixes or anything going on that one. But obviously, they didn't feel like putting on anything from the current album, since I guess, I don't know, they just didn't use it at all for some girls. But that'll wrap up the 70s, and we'll start in 1980 next, right before I was born. There's an album about the year of my birth, the year after. This one in 80 is Emotional Rescue, so we will go to that next time and see what's on there. I know one song that's on there for sure. I don't know much else about that one. But I really did enjoy Some Girls a lot. I would definitely play that one at some point again. It was really good. Those drums are great. Those drums are fantastic. They even get some reverb on Beast of Burden. So does Mick Jagger's vocals. But yeah, just a nice hard driving kind of rock kind of album. Really impressed me. I enjoyed it. That'll do it for this point, though. I will see you guys in another video.